Welcome, travelers, to my realm of nightmares. Allow me to be your personal assistant. Come in, take a seat, get comfortable. For when you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.
It is 1954, and it is a cold, wet day on the lake. We are looking for a good fishing spot when another boat comes into view with no one visibly on board. As we get closer, we see bloodstains on the deck and the side of the boat. I look over at my friend, who was next to me, and told him we need to get the hell out of here. As we start to pull off from the other boat, something rams into the side of our boat, making it shake, and we hear the sound of the boat scraping against what rammed into us as we leave the area. Reaching the shore, we both hastily grab our equipment to head back into town as soon as we could to tell the authorities about the boat and whatever rammed into us. When we got to the police station and told them what happened, they had a look of suspicion as we told them the story. When we got done explaining what had happened and told them we could show them the area, we all went back to the lake. When we arrived, they told us to take them to the area where the attack occurred. So, we showed them the other boat. As we got closer, they told us to stop beside the other boat and stay inside ours. The officer climbed on board the other boat to investigate a potential crime. When they got done, they hooked the other boat to ours and climbed aboard, and we headed back to shore. The next few days, we stayed away from the lake so the officers could do a full investigation. As they did their job, we went to a local bar to talk about what happened. As we ordered drinks, we recalled what happened when we saw the other boat. As we talked about the attack, 3 gentlemen came up to ask us about what happened that day. The questions they asked were odd, asking if we heard anything in the water that day or seen anything besides the boat. We replied to them, saying that something did hit the side of the boat, but we didn't know what it was. They started saying that they had something happen to them about 10 years back, when the 3 of them went fishing at the lake. They said that they had seen something that looked like a large snake in the water. We just stared at them as they finished their story, and asked if they think there is a monster living in the lake. One of them simply replied with a curt yes, as they walked out of the bar, and we just started drinking again as they left. The next day, we saw a newspaper about the attack on the boat, and the police saying that it was a robbery that went really wrong. Thinking to ourselves, a robbery? But when we saw the boat, it had nothing on board that was reported missing. So we decided to head back to the lake ourselves to see if we could find anything. Heading out the next morning, we were getting our equipment ready for the next day. As we got to the lake, we put our things in the boat and headed off to the middle of the lake. When we got to the center of the lake, a thick fog started to roll in. All we could do was sit there and wait if we could see anything. When we heard something big swimming in the water near our boat, we started to worry about what was in the water and if we may have made a mistake. We shouldn't have gone back. When my friend looked off to the side of the boat and said, "There's something beside us." Before I could do anything, I see a large, long-bodied creature pull him off the boat. I tried to run over to pull him back in. I started the boat and went back to the shore. I left everything in the boat and went back to town to get the police back out to the lake to help me find my friend. I told the police that he fell overboard and we needed to start a search party. So, the police and a few local men came back to the lake with me to search for him. A few hours went by, and one of the locals found a leg after sweeping the lake floor, and the police take it to examine to find out what attacked him. A few more hours went by, and they couldn't find anything else in the lake, so they gave up on the search. So everyone went back to town for the next few days. One of the police called me up and told me to come into the police department. When I came in, they told me to sit down. I sat down, and they told me to tell them what really happened at the lake that day. So I told them about finding the boat with the bloodstains and the three gentlemen telling us about the monster and what happened when it pulled my friend off the boat. I could already tell by the looks on their faces they didn't believe me, or it was a story they already heard before. You're telling us that some creature in the lake is eating people, and that's what took your friend? One of the cops asked sternly. Yes, I replied. The leg had teeth marks on it when we found it. Yeah, so that could have been any animal in the area. Yeah, but nothing around here has teeth that large, I insisted. They could have thrown me out the door laughing, but instead, I found myself being put in a pair of handcuffs and put in a small cell. A couple of days later, they released me, saying it was not me who did it because another attack just happened. After walking out of the jailhouse, I found the closest newspaper to read what happened in the few days I was locked up. It read that 2 people went missing a couple days ago, and they could not find anything about their whereabouts. I went back to try to find any clues or anything about what was going on at the lake. When I got to the lake, I got into the boat and went to the center of the lake to see if anything would happen. When nothing happened in a few hours, I thought to head back to the shore and head back into town. That is when I felt a bump on the side of the boat. When it hit the side of the boat, it caused the engine to cut off. I tried restarting the engine, but nothing happened. I was stranded in the middle of the lake with something periodically ramming my boat. I tried to start the engine a few times, but every time I tried, whatever was in the water rammed into my boat again. When it got dark, things got a lot worse. The thing kept ramming into my boat more often, and when the night fell, at one point, I thought I would be thrown overboard. When dawn broke, everything went quiet, and the creature quit ramming into the boat. I was able to turn the engine back on and head back to the shore, and went back to town. When I got to town, those same men from the bar came back to talk to me again about the creature in the lake. When they came up to me, I knew what they were going to say. They wanted me to help them find the creature to prove it was real to everyone in town. So we started to gather some equipment for the search for the monster we had seen. We got some weapons and equipment for battle. We got in one of their trucks and went to the lake. We got there in the evening and decided to wait for night to fall. When we took my boat and went to the center of the lake and set up harpoons bought from a local store in the area. One of the men set a harpoon up at the back of the boat in case he wanted to attack that night, but nothing happened. The next morning, we had breakfast and started talking about why we were looking for the creature. My reason was because it killed my friend. Their reason was because they had seen it multiple times through the years, and it was a nuisance. They had never got a chance to fire a harpoon at it, and all the times they saw it. We decided to stay on the boat for the next few days, because we had enough supplies to stay on the boat for a while. The next day, we sat and watched the water for any signs of movement. We thought we heard a splash about 100 feet away from our boat, but we did not see anything. When night fell, we heard some noises from the water. Then, all of a sudden, one of the other gentlemen said, "There! It's coming behind us!" When I yelled, "Shoot it with the harpoon!" That is when the creature came up from the dark water and grabbed one of the other men and dragged him under the water. I ran towards the harpoon and waited for it to resurface so I could shoot it, and in all of the chaos this thing has made. When it did resurface, it rammed the boat, making another gentleman fall overboard, and we did not see him again. The attacks had stopped after the creature had eaten 2 of the gentlemen. The next day, the last one who was with me was upset over the loss of his friends, like I was when it killed my friend. I tried to tell him we would kill this thing, we just needed it to surface behind the boat. That is when he had the idea to drive slowly to attract the creature to us. I turned on the engine to the boat, and we started to move about. Slowly, after a few minutes, the creature started ramming into the boat to try to make one of us fall overboard. When it came up, it slammed the back of the boat, causing the last person with me to fall down, giving the creature time to bite his arm, while he was in the boat, taking him with it. I ran towards the harpoon, and the creature came up out of the water. When I had the shot, I fired the harpoon directly into the mouth of the beast, making it roar in pain. As I got ready to fire another one at it, it retreated back under the water. With my harpoon ready, I waited for the attack. It rammed the side of the boat multiple times. I saw it swimming towards me. With one well-aimed shot, I fired the harpoon right between its eyes, causing it to sink into the water. And I dragged the dead creature to shore. I called the police, letting them know I killed the beast, and when they got there, they called someone at the Pentagon and let them know what happened. And shortly after someone came and retrieved the body of the creature, they told us never to tell anyone about the creature or how I killed it. I am choosing to stay anonymous to keep the government off my back. I will keep searching for these creatures, and if they're already out there, I will do my best to destroy them. Tonight's story is written by the Sleeping Wendigo, and is titled The Monster of Hell's Lake. If you enjoyed this story, chances are you'll enjoy the content he creates. The links to his YouTube channel, as well as all his other social medias, will be in the description below. Hey, did you know I have merch? Yeah, it's crazy, but I do. And if you like to walk around, representing my realm and gaining new travelers, the links to my merch store, as well as all my other social medias, will be in the description below. As always, I'd like to say a special thank you to all my lovely Patreons. 242 reads. Seraphine, the Midnight Bard. Creepy Clown Girl. Mia Mina. Philia Noctis. Hair-raising narratives. Nightmare's Mistress. Lycan Trucker. And Nathaniel Nelson. If you'd like to join these lovely travelers by the light of my fire, you can do so by becoming a Patreon as well. Just remember the support is always appreciated, but it's never expected. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ding that bell if you're new for all future content, as will really help this channel grow and push this video into the algorithm.
But as always, travelers, once you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.